It was just after midnight when Sarah, a freelance photographer, pulled her car onto a deserted road surrounded by an expanse of cornfields. She had spent the evening capturing a rare meteor shower in a remote area and was heading home. The stars above were unusually bright, casting an eerie glow on the fields. As she drove, her radio emitted a strange crackle. She glanced at it, puzzled. It wasn't even turned on. Suddenly, the engine sputtered and died, leaving her stranded in the middle of nowhere. Frustrated, she grabbed her flashlight and stepped out of the car. The air was unnaturally still and a strange hum filled the silence, low and rhythmic, as if the earth itself were breathing. Before Sarah could investigate, a brilliant beam of blue light erupted from the sky, illuminating her and her car. Frozen in place, she shielded her eyes and looked up. A massive, circular craft hovered above her, its surface shimmering like liquid metal. She tried to move, but her body wouldn't obey. She felt weightless, as though gravity had ceased to exist. Suddenly, she was lifted into the air, the blue light pulling her toward the underside of the craft. Panic surged as she flailed uselessly, her screams swallowed by the hum. Moments later, she found herself inside the craft, standing in a stark white room. The walls seemed alive, pulsating with soft light and intricate patterns. The air smelled metallic, like ozone after a storm. 3 beings emerged from a door that seamlessly formed in the wall. They were humanoid but impossibly tall, with elongated limbs and smooth, grey skin that shimmered faintly. Their eyes were large and black, reflecting the room like mirrors. Though they had no mouths, Sarah could hear them in her mind. "Do not fear. We mean no harm." The words echoed in her thoughts, calming her panic. The beings gestured and a holographic display appeared, showing images of Earth, its oceans, forests, and cities. Sarah realized they were studying her world. She tried to ask questions, but her voice didn't work. Instead, her thoughts seemed to communicate with them. "Why me?" she asked silently. "You were chosen for your perspective. Your role as an observer of life intrigued us," they replied. The beings showed her more holograms, images of planets she couldn't comprehend, with skies of shifting colors and lifeforms that defied imagination. They were explorers, cataloging worlds and species, seeking understanding across the galaxy. Before she could process the enormity of the experience, the light surrounded her again. The next thing she knew, she was back in her car, engine purring as if nothing had happened. The clock on her dashboard showed only a minute had passed. Shaken, Sarah looked up. The craft was gone, leaving no trace but the hum, fading into silence. She drove home in a daze, clutching her camera, only to discover a single, unexplainable photo, a blurry image of the beings, their dark eyes staring directly at the lens. From that night on, Sarah never looked at the stars the same way again.